Today's gold trade was a little different. It's down but not out. In this movie, I'll talk about what happened to gold and silver as we look around. Why does it happen so rarely that gold goes down and silver goes up in the same trade session? In a bit, we'll try to figure out what that question means. But first, I want to tell you that Summit Metals is the sponsor of your channel. You can put gram bars in these cool purses. There aren't many cheap ways to get into gold, and this is one of the easiest ways to keep track of your progress. That's all there is to it. You can check them out by clicking on the link in the description below. They also have deals on some of their goods. When you buy or sell from them, look around and see what you can find. As a result, gold prices have gone down because of selling pressure that came from Monday's big drops. But bulls in the gold market have taken back about half of what we lost, and it's actually only down $27 right now. In the beginning of the day, it was down even more. It even dropped as low as $3,886.30. Before the markets close, I want to let you know that it is now only down $27 or $3,955.40. In fact, it has made up for most of those losses. Silver also lost some value today, but it has now worked its way back to the positive, up 16 cents at $47.11 after hitting a low of $45.48 earlier in the trading session. Gold and silver prices have been going through a crazy ride, even though they haven't changed much in either direction right now. It's not like gold to fall though, because of both that and the dollar index. In general, a drop in the dollar index is good for valuable metals. It is true that when the dollar gets weaker, the prices of valuable metals go up. So far, silver is responding well in that area, but gold is not. It looks like both gold and silver have suffered major near-term technical chart damage, which means that near-term market tops are likely to happen, at least for now, says Jim Wyckoff at Kitco. Today is the first day of the Federal Markets Open Market Committee meeting. It finishes on Wednesday afternoon with a statement and press conference from Fed Chairman Powell. A lot of people think that the FOMC will cut rates by another quarter point to help the U.S. job market, but Fed officials are split. Some are afraid that lowering rates will go too far, while others want rates to be lowered even more. This is because the US government is shut down right now, so no economic data is coming out. But most people think that there will be at least one more before the end of the year, and most likely another one early in 2026. Bulls think that the US stock market will go up even more now that it is at all-time highs. A news story from Bloomberg says that stock market bulls are lining up to bet that the S&P 500 will go over 7,000 now that it looks like the seasonal bout of volatility is over. Monday, the index hit a new high of $6,875 thanks to good trade news, hopes for a U.S. interest rate cut, and strong corporate earnings. That's one reason why gold and silver have been losing value lately. But silver is showing some good signs of consolidation here. But once more, the fact that gold has pulled back so much here is a bit of a surprise. It's something. According to another analyst, the sharp short-term drop in the gold market is due to traders who joined the market too quickly as buyers in October and have since started to cover their positions, and it's very likely that could be the case. There is still a lot of political and economic uncertainty, such as the fact that the US government is still shut down. People are expecting the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates, and investor mood is changing. The Senate decided today to keep the government shut down for the 13th time. How long will this last? Will this shutdown last so long that it's the longest one ever? That does have an effect on some of the numbers that the Bureau of Labor Statistics and other government agencies that report on them give out, even though it has nothing to do with gold itself. We'll see how that goes. Now that the big picture is clear, bulls are pointing to other things that can push the index above the psychologically important 7,000 mark. Once more, we're talking about the S&P 500, which has something to do with valuable metals. Retail and institutional buyers are pouring money into the market, as shown by fund flows. Technical analysis also shows that there isn't much resistance before the round number milestone. Bloomberg says that because of the way the seasons work, this week is the best for stocks in the last 75 years. As the stock market has been going up, safe havens like gold and silver have been going down. So yes, indeed, that is another reason why the price of gold has gone down. But silver is going up. That may be one reason why silver is going up. In other words, the stock market thinks the economy might not be as bad as some people say it is. There are many parts of the business that are bad right now, and people are hurting, it is clear. And there are other things that are changing the economy, like the taxes and other things, but the stock market is happy about it all, which means there will be more demand for, wait for it, silver-based goods and services. But that's not the point. Right now we're talking about gold and why it's going down. I think it's likely that we'll see more of this stretched gold situation. Things may get worse with gold before they get better, but I think that's a very, very short time. I believe that the price of gold will stay around this level or even go a little lower before it starts to rise again to $4,000. That's how I see it. That will be talked about more in a different film. But now let's talk about the technical side of things. As we already talked about, the dollar index is a little weaker in these important outside markets. Prices for crude oil are going down and are now around $59.75 a barrel. The standard 10-year US Treasury note has a yield of 3.978 right now. There are also times when smaller yields are good for gold and silver. The next price goal for gold futures bulls is to get a close above solid support at $4,100. Buyers' next short-term goal for falling prices is to get futures prices below the technical support level at $3,800 an ounce. The low price today was $3,886. That's about where we are now, or that's where we were earlier in the trading session. It will be hard to go below $4,000 at first and then $4,034.20, which was the high point overnight. The first support level is $3,900, which we're well above now, and the second is $3,850. That's what's going on. Let's talk about silver for a bit now. The next price goal for the silver bull is for prices to close above solid technical support at $50 an ounce. We're still a ways off from that, of course. But the next price target for the bears is for the price to close below the strong support, which is now at $45. Before we were 48 cents short of that. That's what it is. So very interesting. We'll see how everything turns out. But gold has shown itself to be the safest way to store value of all the valuable metals, even though its price fell today while the dollar was weak. We see it move a lot, but not as quickly as silver, platinum, or palladium. I still believe in all valuable metals, though for different reasons and in different ways. But since about 2017, gold has been the metal I've been most interested in. I think everyone who stacks silver should add some gold to their collection. Yes, and there are many reasons for this. Even now, in this market where prices have been well above all-time highs all year, even when inflation is taken into account. Next videos, I'll talk more about gold and why I still think it will go up in value. Still, the fact that I'm optimistic about it doesn't mean that it will happen. You should always check things out for yourself and do your own homework. Even though I do mine, I might not agree with what you think about what's going on in the valuable metals. But before I go, I'd like to give you the most recent rare metals news and analysis. If you like what I do here and think it's helpful, interesting, or educational, please consider clicking the thumbs up button below. It does help the math. Besides that, please follow the channel if you haven't already. Today is a new day, but tomorrow is a new market. It's also possible that there will be more pain for gold. I don't think much more though, but these chances show up every time you go to buy something. I almost bought something today, but I didn't. Still, it looks like they're kind of winning some things out. People you should never buy because you're scared. You also don't want to buy out of anyone or anything other than your own situation, knowledge of the markets, and metal that you hold. That's very important, people. I believe in the real world. There are other ways to get the metals, but I believe that the physical is the best way. But please let me know what you think in the area below. I hope this movie was interesting, helpful, and educational for you. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch. Also, please rate, share, review, and subscribe the video.